And good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Monday, first day of the work week for those of us who work under that schedule. I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you are energized for the week. As usual, very little for me to talk about. The weekend was good, nice and relaxing. Literally forced myself to do some errands just to get out of the house. Figured I would treat myself, went to go to buy some ice cream I like that was on special, and the grocery store was utterly out of it. So, but like as I said, it got me out of the house for 20, 30 minutes. Well, actually, probably an hour in total. It's a 20-minute walk there and back there each direction, and a bit of time there. So yeah, nice and relaxing overall. Played Autonaut, played Satisfactory in my friend's game, and yeah, that's kinda it. This week is going to be a little short. I am not going to be working on Friday. I have a follow-up to my surgery with my doctor, and I was going to take Thursday afternoon off to go watch Thunderbolts. I'm going to watch that on Friday instead. And it turns out, I just found out that the following Monday is a holiday here in Canada. So, yeah, I'm going to have a longish weekend. Unsure what I'll do for the duration, but yeah. Alrighty. This morning, it is... Oops, let's fix this typo. It is chapter 74 of Stepping Wild. Hey, Cool Imp. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hunter of small and furry things and words. I hunt words. Doing all right. Finished the rewrite of the Conqueror Dragon Rider. Kept the ending. Well, congratulations on finishing the rewrite. Starting something new. Very cool. All I was observing story along the way. Welch would always remember this. To never be the first or the last at anything. Yes. Part of its father's philosophy. I remember the first something and the last something. You could find the cure for cancer, but if you were the first person to fuck an alien, no one remembered the cure. People will ask about the sex first, but again, his father also believed Fort Knox never had any gold. Took the good with the bad when it came to his advice. Especially when the advice is not consistent. Question: if that is enough to hook someone for the first page, it is definitely grabby. I mean, as a first draft, I would say, yeah, sure. There are implications made in that, which, you know, if the rest of the stories support the opening, you can leave it as such. Otherwise, you may need to adjust things. But yeah, for a first draft, this is decent. This is good, in my opinion. Still want to. You still want Major Sister, but it keeps not developing. Some stories, as interesting as they are, we don't have the skill yet, or, you know, our mind simply isn't there. There's a bunch of stories that I want to write. I've got ideas for it, but I don't have stories for it. So, you know, they stay on the side, they stay in my head. Like I have a, I'm a bit like similar to yours. Like I have a superhero school idea that's been bouncing in my head for years now. The Harker Project. I have notes, I have opening stories, vignettes, but the real problem I am encountering is that I've never been to college. Well, that's not true. When I went to college, it was not a typical situation. So I don't know what college life for people who stay in residences and stuff like that is like. So I've got nothing to base my story. And I've asked around, and it turns out that the people around me, if they've gone to university, they were shut-ins. So they also don't have any information on what the social life of university was like. And, sorry, not usually, college was like. So that, until I get that, I can't really, like I don't have ideas. Like I know, like I have concept for one storyline, but that would be in second book. And that's it. My mind does not like to work chronologically, to go through a story before adding to it. I already have story. Like I have ideas for a story that takes place decades after the series would be written. So, but yeah, it happens. The best we can do is make notes, and eventually things will come together. Yeah. Yeah, what would make the angle I'm taking for that story is that school is the first one in existence. Before that, superheroes were left to do whatever they wanted. But not long